Well, if it isn't time to stream. And I feel a little bit sick, actually. Everyone has been sick for a couple of days, and then I woke up this morning, and I feel a little bit stuffed in my throat. So this stream should go wonderfully. Let's get it. We all get to be sick together. Exactly, Heron. I hope that everyone has grabbed a drink. I hope that everyone is staying hydrated. I hope that you're sat back and relaxed. For it's time to dive into another stream where you make your choice heard as to what we talk about today. Oh, Taters, thanks for the reminder. I need to ask people to join the Discord. Let me send my own personal message to do that. Give me a second. Alright, everyone. It is so nice to see all of you here. Moose's Minecraft server killing me out of 10. Please explain to me what that, like, how that's going. Because I would love to know. Everyone, it is so nice to see you here today. I am honestly, I'm feeling good despite needing probably a little bit of medicine, but I think I should be okay. I'm in that stage where I'm like, I could power through this, I think. Like, I could. There's nothing, like, physically stressful that I'm doing today, so, you know, that's fine. Maybe I should go to the doctor, but, yeah, I don't want to. Maybe I'll do it after the stream. You know what, my mom, it's fine. I would like everyone to get into an extremely comfortable position, one in which you could possibly fall asleep, and then do not fall asleep, and instead go to the poll and vote, and tell me what you want to see. Are we doing tabletop role-playing games? Are we doing some reading? Are we playing some board games? The decision, of course, is always yours. Unless it's not, in which case I just don't feel like giving you choices. You have a veiled mirage of democracy here in the Everything GM community. And I would love to know how everyone's day is going. And I would love to know how you've been feeling today. And I would also like to cough quick. There we go. That's better. If you're enjoying the stream, no. I have messages for the. Do you know how much time it took me to program messages to send? Your job is Discord joiner. Discord join, not anything else. You have one job, maybe two. Maybe the second one is adminning. But no. This is your main one. Just giving a Discord link, and when you're not there, I do it. You don't do things like look, I have a like button. And then if you give it, then I can't give it, because then it's like it's flooded. Now we flood the chat with like automated messages, and then no one watches. You see what you've done? You see what do you understand that this is your doing? It's going pretty good, except me learning the hard way that water glitches the gravestone mod, and then server changing IPs while I'm underwater, so when I load back in, I just instantly drown. I want to put a drill into my nostrils out of 10. I want to put a drill into my nostrils. Really good. Not in a bad way, by the way. It's more like it's because her nose is blocked and she wants to like extract it. Migraine is a manageable 3 out of 10, but I'm coughing again out of 10. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, at least, I mean, I don't know. A manageable 3 out of 10 actually means it's pretty bad still, so I'm here. I'm holding thumbs for you. Whew. Here we go. And because I've now lost my stuff 3 times, I no longer have the iron to replace it and have been reset back to stone. Oh. My man. You may, yeah, good, have fun. Have fun. I won't be joining you. Have fun. But you don't pay them so they can do whatever they want. I have the ban hammer, alright? Shouldn't threaten to give an AI my job then. An AI will, it's not an AI! It's not an AI! It's me! It's me! I did it! I'm doing my job as community, organizer, facilitator, and scaffolder, right? General mental health attempted booster. That's my job. Oh god, we just glitched out as well. No, we're good. MJ's an AI confirmed. That's what an AI would say. You know what? Fine. Fine. You can't disprove it. So let's walk around just constantly challenging people to prove negative statements. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Alpherg, prove that you do not suck at every game you play. Prove it. Prove it. Prove that you do not look at a goat in a field every now and then and think, prove it. That's how negative statements work. It's great. Proving negative statements is an awesome idea that is just so good. He can't prove it though? Exactly. Exactly. Joke's on you. I have nothing but evidence that I do suck. Also, Noble, yay! Wasting my 1 free night this week. Wait, why is it a waste? You're here. You're here and we're enjoying ourselves. Thank you for spending your time here. You don't have to. If there's something better that you'd rather be doing, feel free. But for the rest of you, we can... Hey, Duddles! Hello. Wait, Duddles, why are you here? Isn't it like 2 in the morning? Wait, and on Thursday. Don't you work on Thursdays? Ugh. You should be working. I haven't caught up on my Discord messages yet. They're still just here. Oh. Alrighty. You're asking me? Don't worry about it. I won't. It's fine. It's cool. I will not worry about it. I'm gonna check my Discord messages and see if there's anything interesting. The Helldivers broadcast. Oh, the Fallout show premieres today, doesn't it? It premieres soon. Yeah, the Fallout series premiere is actually streaming soon. I just got a message from my from the Fallout 4 team, the Fallout London team, that there's gonna be that they're gonna stream and watch it together. That's pretty cool. Anything else? Nothing really. We're still trying to kick back the automatons in in Helldivers 2. What else we got? This music is bopping. Very good. Bum 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 If you're looking for interesting Discord messages, don't open mine. It's boring. I wait for PMs. I haven't opened any of my direct messages yet. I wait for those until after the stream. Tomorrow, I believe. Okay. I disagree. The Shane Courtney thing was so much fun to hear about. Wait. Wait, huh? What is happening? Well, why are we suddenly talking about Smosh and Shane and Courtney? I don't understand. Was I saying something while checking messages that I just wasn't aware of? And in the meantime, let's watch a TikTok, because I got a cool one that you guys should see. It's quite cool. I said cool too many times. We're good. Okay. All right. Today, we're gonna lead. We're gonna watch more Jack Lawrence because he's amazing. I'm glad you had fun with that, Alpherg. I needed someone to talk to so bad. Wait, why? What? Huh? Oh, it was Tater's messaging you. Okay, Shane and Courtney got married and made it an April Fool joke. Wait, really? Wait, it was an April Fool joke? Yo! But why are we talking about April Fool jokes? Like, I'm so... Was it Tater's message to you? Is that what, like... Are you talking about their PMs? They tricked everyone into thinking they weren't getting married, but they actually did. No, but no, this is not my question. My question is, why are we suddenly talking about this? Is this because we were talking about Tater's DMs? Okay, yes, okay. I'm gonna say that that's a yeah. I'm sorry. I'm a little slow today, all right? That's fine. But it's May. Yeah, no, but it happened a while ago. Taters is just late to the party. Like, hello, Baron. Welcome. Welcome. We're here to watch a TikTok about self-motivation, and then we're gonna do whatever the vote says we do. So, give me your thoughts. And I don't see that there are any, I don't see that there are any people who actually have stuff to add at the reading corner besides. So if anyone who's here has some stuff they want me to read on the reading corner, they can. If not, I'm just gonna choose something from here, read this. Just making sure that people know. Usually if the author of the thing is here, usually if the author of the if the author of the thing that we're reading is not here, then I don't usually read the thing. So we'll see. If no one's here to read things, then we might just skip. Wait, did I just confuse? Baron, why would you do this to me? It's April. It's the 11th day of April. Why would you just say that and then have me go, yeah, it is May. Just automatically. Because I am a broken AI, apparently. Chatbot has got nothing on me. Holy shit. That makes me feel incredibly weird. Wow. Okay, cool. All right, so we do have someone in the chat who's written something, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, if we do reading corner, we're gonna do that. I accidentally removed my own message. I do not partake in my one right as a United States citizen except for once every 4 years. What is your one right as a United States citizen? What is it? Is that to what? There are so many jokes I could tell, and I have decision paralysis as to what joke I could tell about the single right that US people have. Ah, to vote. Ah, okay. Is it oh yeah, because we're doing a vote here. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Let me double check my progress is my story. Okay, cool. I think my favorite part of now having multiple Baldur's Gate 3 runs is getting to resurrect old Alpheria characters. Oh, nice. Very cool. Wait, did you name your world after yourself? Wait, hold on. Is that like me naming my world like MJnia? Yeah. I'm not voting because I'm not able to stay more than a couple hours. I mean, that's fine. The stream is usually only a little more than a couple of hours. I've got almost 2 pages. Well, 2 pages better than nothing. We can do your stuff if we want to. Alternatively, yeah, we're gonna watch TikTok first, and then see what that has to say. So that's what we're gonna start with. Boop, boop. There we go. So this is Jack Lawrence. If you don't know him, we have reacted to him before. We have talked about his videos before. He's a great guy. He does a lot of cool stuff. I'm yawning. Give me a second. He does some really cool stuff, and most of his stuff is about philosophy. He's really, really well read with philosophical schools of thought and things like that. He has a philosophy series where he explains the school of thought that he's talking about. It's really, really cool. And this time, one of the things he's often been known to post series about is self-care. So yeah, we're gonna listen to him and figure out what he's gonna say. I've watched this video already. It's really, really good. Oh my goodness. Well, it was my friend who made it the world. Oh, okay. I don't know which came first. I named myself after the giant space octopus / squid. I'm finished with my drink already. This is not good. This is not good at all. It's more like calling yourself the everything GM. Yeah, because I do everything. We have a lot of interests here. That was the vibe. I'm in a spicy mood. Oh no, you just accurately described what I was trying to do. Of course, I am God, right? Like you've accurately put that across. That's what I am, and that's why we're here. You're all here to worship. That is the point, isn't it? Is that not it? Have we missed something? Note to self: no more writing on mobile, only for note taking. Wait, what? Oh, why would you write on your mobile? That sounds like it would take so much time. Okay. Right, here we go. Let's watch Jack Lawrence. Like I've said before, we have watched a lot of Jack Lawrence before. Usually he does really good philosophy stuff, but this time he's doing part of his self-care series, so the description here, it's a voice you may know. This is the main thing of the story. I'm not going to read everything just yet. We're going to watch the video first and then read the description. So here we go.
Or too late. You've missed it.
What?
You've wasted too much time. It's over. The opportunity's gone.
What are you talking about?
There was a certain point which, had you started by, you could have done it. But that moment just passed. So give up. Move on.
That's nonsense.
Come now, you know it isn't. These moments happen all the time. Suppose you wanted to be a competitive gymnast. Well, if you haven't started training by the age of 6, that moment's likely past. Or if you wanted to be an elite mathematician. Sorry, most of them do their best work before the age of 25, and that's having started studying at a very early age.
So, what?
So it's over. You'll never reach your potential. And it's all your fault.
And what if I had reached it? Suppose I had started, however many months or years ago, and then worked continuously. Then what?
Well, then you'd see what you're truly capable of.
And then?
Well, you'd reach your potential.
And then? Say I became that athlete, mathematician, entrepreneur, whatever, and I achieve my life's purpose. I reach my peak. Then what? By definition, as it's a peak, it's all downhill from there. Am I in a state of constant bliss thereafter?
No. But you know that...
I'd know that at one moment in my life, I did a thing. And that nothing in my life would ever measure up to that. And I'd have a good 30, 40, 50 years maybe of living with that knowledge.
You'd carry that achievement with you.
Maybe. Maybe I'd be glowing with pride thereafter. But I doubt it. And even if the pride stayed, I'd still have to contend with the problem of being a person in the world. Which I'm having to deal with already.
It would feel good.
Oh, I'm sure it would. But how much of that would be because it would make you shut the fuck up for a second? You lie. You tell me that if I break my back against the rocks of some imagined glory, I'll eventually find peace. That's not true. All that waits for me is just more rocks. More work. And the work I'm fine with, actually. I enjoy it. But working out of fear? Now that's suffering. Because I'll waste my entire life to get to one vacuous moment.
You're settling for mediocrity.
Actually, that's all you offer me. A one-noted life defined under a single axis. A shallow, boring existence where I'm a slave to a fiction.
You'll always wonder.
Yes, I will. Regardless of how I live my life, I will wonder. Because any path chosen is done so at the expense of others.
What else is life for, if not to see what you're capable of?
A million other things you lack the imagination to comprehend.
And yet still, a part of you wants it. I wouldn't exist otherwise.
That's fine. You're a part of life and you're a part of me. You serve a purpose. But it's not all about me. So fuck off.
I love his videos. I just like
Here
we go. There is the takeaway is fairly obvious, but I'll remind. There's more to life than potential. The idea, this belief that we have that our potential is the be-all and end-all, it's the thing that we must strive to do all the time, is not only incredibly damaging, but also, as he said, in an attempt to avoid mediocrity, actually has the result of mediocrity. A life defined by the pursuit of one thing at the cost of all others. And life is so much more than just going after one thing. Not only is it never too late to go after what you want, but also, who decides what your potential is? Because most of the time, it's your parents. And they're not on the inside of your head. They are responsible for facilitating what you want to do with your life, not for telling you what they think you should do with your life. That's not the job of a parent. The job of a parent is to unlock that desire within the child so that they can grow up not with this toxic, pressured idea of their potential and whether or not they're living up to it, but rather having unlocked something that they can consider passionate, that they can throw their passions into. Some way to enjoy life that's not a grind 24/7 after some perceived idea of potential. And as he said in the video, he enjoys the work. Enjoying the work that you put into something is good. That's a great thing. You should enjoy the work that you put into something that you're passionate about. But as soon as you attach that idea of you are living up to your potential into the mix, it becomes damaging. It becomes traumatic. It is never too late to make this realization. It's never too late to realize that whether or not you're living up to your potential doesn't matter at all. Because your potential is defined by yourself. And everyone has a whole lot of potential in avenues of life that they will never walk down anyway. And that does not make all of our lives less valuable. For that simple fact that we're not always living up to our perceived notion of potential. That, as I've said before, is most likely enforced by a parental figure anyway. Who is trying to, at least on some level, encourage you to be a good version of yourself, but who is really actually traumatizing you by creating these unreachable, lofty expectations on you about this vague notion of potential. I heard the talk about how I have potential that I'm not living up to all the time. All the time. And all it really did was make me feel like I was wasting my life. That's it. But I couldn't fix it because there were other things in my life I wanted to do. But because those other things that I wanted to do were apparently not my potential, then they were not good uses of my time. They were wastes. There was only one or maybe 2 or 3 ways in which I could really live up to my so-called potential. And that made me feel like anything that I was doing that wasn't that was a complete waste of my time and a waste of my life. And it took me a very long time to realize that there is no such thing as a waste of time. There's no such thing as a waste of potential. As human beings, we have infinite potential. Potential is this thing that we keep on our shoulders that often pushes us into toxic work habits and punishes us for not pursuing one particular line of life where there are so many others that we're missing. But really what it should be is a sense of wonder for where we could be. What paths are available to us and which one we want to go down, which one we want to invest our passions into. And it's more than one path as well. We can go down a few. That's what potential should be used for. This idea of potential should be reprogrammed in our brains to realize or to view it as where we want to go, because I think we have the potential for almost anything. So yeah. Oh, look, it's my personal internal monologue and my parental internal monologue. Well, there you go. I mean, yeah, I'm the same. Definitely the same. I need to go back in time to talk to my younger self and his meltdown because, Jesus, I locked myself out of so much info that I need. It's never too late to start now. I think your younger self, if you're already realizing this now, then your younger self is proud of you for having gotten this far. So don't worry, don't be too hard on yourself. I think you're doing great. So many memories. I'm so glad I found this. Oh, your creature doc. Oh, hell yeah. Hey, very good, very good. All right, well, we can do that reading if you want to. So yeah. No problems. Okay. Right, so yeah, that's it. You feel free to give your thoughts about that, but that's what we're talking about today. Just this idea of potential and whether it's worth thinking about or not. Personally, I think it can be, but it needs to be reframed completely. And I'm totally okay with abolishing the entire word potential because it's just used in such a damaging way for so many people. Yeah. I'm already emotional from this. You don't get to tell me that and make me cry. Oh, I'm sorry, Alpherg, but I'm serious. I think I definitely believe that. I think all of our younger selves should be very proud of us for where we are right now. I don't think we have anything to be ashamed of. Hey, it's a dapper eggplant. Hey man, the only reason I'm able to catch the stream right now is because I only just stopped working for the day. Wait, what time is... Wait, no, that's unreasonable. Dude, what? It's like 2:30. What do you mean you just stopped work for the day? No, go to bed. Oh my God. Jeez. I was like, okay, we're talking about reaching your potential. You should go back and watch that video that we were talking about before, unless you caught that thing beforehand. But yeah, we're talking about how this idea of reaching your potential is bullshit and really just a toxic way of constantly feeling bad for not pushing yourself in the same way that your parents sort of either inadvertently or advertently pushed you into. And not just parents, by the way. This could be internal narratives as well. This could be, but remember that it never came from yourself. And remember, we've talked about this before. Internal narratives often come from childhood, and they never, if they do come from childhood, they never come from yourself. They are taught. It's learned behavior. And there's a really good test that Dr. Mick gave for us for this. There's a really good test for this. Is if you think something toxic about yourself, or if you think something that's part of your like internal narrative that's maybe a little bit damaging about yourself, and you think in your head, if there's some kind of person who's important to you in the background who would be nodding their head in agreement with what you're saying, then that's probably who you learned that narrative from and who you borrowed that from. That's really good work you can do to deprogram those. I know exactly who said things like this to me at vulnerable points in my life and put this sort of thinking into my brain. I know logically that it's unreasonable, yet it's a daily thing for me. And it can be. Part of deprogramming it is realizing that it's not your thought. And making that realization combined with, you know, maybe I shouldn't give that, like, maybe I shouldn't give that voice any more power than it has, considering it's not my voice. You know what I mean? Okay, I had a production meeting, right? And then rehearsals ran late. And then I had to get auditions in for VO before they were all snatched up. Oi. What was it an audition for, by the way? I'm very curious. What was it an audition for? Because you've mentioned it before, but I don't know what it was for. What, I did spell it wrong? How did that not get caught? Wait, what did you spell wrong? What did you spell wrong? What do you mean you spelled... What do you mean? Like, what did you spell wrong? I forgot I screwed up the dialogue at the end. If I can fix this by the time voting is done, I'll send it over. Okay, it looks like we're going to do reading today, so that's fine. I feel attacked. Hello, Neo. I know you go by AJ now. Do you prefer AJ? Because obviously Neo is in your YouTube account. You can change that if you want to, but what do you prefer to go by? Well, I have sent you audio clips for your listening pleasure whenever. Well, thank you very much. Should we listen to them right now? We do have a voice acting portion of this stream. Would you like us to would you like to have a listen to them? The name of a region of the continent of Alpheria is spelt wrong in the creature doc, despite the creature doc being made when the server was still active. Oh, okay. No, that's alright. Now you're okay. Nah. No. Wait. Right, so... Oh, hold on a second. Okay. Right, yeah, make sure to get your voices heard. It looks like we're just gonna be doing reading. But then, there are a couple of... I mean, TTRPGs and board games are like right at the end. So maybe if we run out of time, if there's still time in the stream and we've finished our reading, then we'll do the next best thing. Okay. So we are gonna do some reading. We're gonna take a break before that though. That's basically what just happened, yes. What, like, oh, yeah. Wait. It's like, hey, MJ, I'm a voice actor. I did a VO audition today, and I'm like, yeah, I hope I get it. And also I sent voice recordings, and I'm like, should I listen to those voice recordings? And then, no, wait, stop, go back. Usually I prefer AJ Ajani, but when it comes to people that are close, I stick with whatever they're used to calling. Okay, well, no, I'd prefer to... I mean, you know, obviously we're closer before you went by that, but yeah, I can move over to AJ if you want. Yeah, no worries. If you really want to, you can, Lamau. I don't mind. No. I'll listen to it afterwards. It's fine. We're gonna do some reading now. We're gonna read. we're reading an anonymous submission today, which is very interesting, that I'm very new to. So stick around for that. And then the genre of which I'm very new to, for sure. Even though the content of the writing is very normal, the sort of backdrop for it is something that I'm not, like, to me is very unusual. Just to me, because I'm new to that part of the internet. But we're going to talk about it for a bit. And and it should be entertaining at the very least. And yeah, for the others, I think there's something that Alpherg has written. We're going to read a lot of community stuff today. And then once we're done with the reading corner, if there's still time, we'll move on to other stuff. Now, Neo is fine? Okay, cool. All right, I'll go Neo again. Is this the MLP one? It is indeed. It is indeed. We're entering Pony World. I'm sure. I think that Neo has probably heard Matrix jokes his whole life, to be honest. I have a feeling that that's the thing. If you read that first, I can listen. Hell yeah, let's do it. All right, we're gonna enter the land of My Little Pony in a second, as we've received a submission regarding the land of My Little Pony. We're gonna read that writing. It's gonna be great. Don't worry about it, and we'll take a quick yeah, my whole life, yeah. Baron, you're not original. And with that, yeah, we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna get some more water. I think you should do the same. So please, yeah, don't change that channel, and we'll be right back. My favorite game. It's a very difficult question, but also a good question because it makes me think. We're back, by the way. Get your go grab your drinks. You should get yourself seated again. We're gonna do some reading. It's gonna be great. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. All right. Yeah. Don't. Yeah, that's a good question, but also I find it very difficult to answer things like favorites because I have so many. I would say right now, my favorite game, even then is like, I would say Helldivers 2 is really up there with the game that I'm enjoying my time with the most. Some of my favorite games of all time, I think if I were to talk about like a game that I constantly come back to, that would be something like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. The KOTOR series is one of the best games I think ever made. Very dated, but I think there's a remake coming soon, but I don't really care about that stuff. I'm excited when it comes out, but like if it doesn't get made, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I don't like the remake culture anyway. And then there's also what we're playing right now, which is the Mass Effect series. I think the Mass Effect series is one of the best game series ever made as well. So that's really cool. I think I prefer story-driven games. Like, yeah, I prefer games that have a little bit of like third person is a good way for me to imagine it. RPGs, definitely one of my favorite genres. And like narrative-driven, story-driven games, I'm just a big fan of. I'm a fan of sandbox open world stuff. What I really like are games that remind me of D&D. Oh, how could I forget Baldur's Gate 3? One of my favorite games ever. Yeah, for sure. But I think the way that we play games now, we don't really spend as much time with games as we used to. Because now the market is so flooded with like so many different types of games that when you are a story game player, like you do move on as new things come out. We don't really spend too much time anymore. As we used to spend years and years and years on like one game. Although I suppose now people do that with competitive games like Fortnite and Apex and those sorts of things. But with regular games, like when people bought a video game, it was like if that was an RPG, like you would spend the next 3 years of your life just playing that, you know, like that was your commitment. And I don't know, I thought that was quite cool. I like that. I do love having all of this creativity, like all of these projects coming out so that I can consume like as much of that narrative as I can because I love story-based games. But yeah, I would say story-driven RPGs, open world, like that kind of stuff is my bread and butter for sure. Need for Speed Most Wanted has given me too many memories. Brother, I played Need for Speed it was Most Wanted. No, it was Most Wanted. Yeah, it was the first Most Wanted game. I played the shit out of that game. I was so invested in that game. I loved that game. It was so good. My favorite might be Spiritfarer. Oh, I mean, that's a good one too. That is a good... We did play it on stream, so if you want to see what Spiritfarer is about, you can go check those VODs. I haven't played that many games, but I enjoyed GTA 5 for sure. Not online, but story mode. Oh yeah, GTA 5 is good. GTA 5 is a solid game. For sure. I don't know, we still play Skyrim. Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, open world RPGs. I love Skyrim. Skyrim will... Oh, as in like a marathon type of thing? That's true. That's true. I mean, to be fair, I think that's because they keep re-releasing it to try and like keep our like numbers up. I think that has something to do with it for sure. Are you gonna play Detroit Become Human? I can't wait to see MJ play Detroit Become Human. Okay, now more than one person has asked me to play it, so yeah, sure. I'll add it to the list. I've never played it before. We'll see. We'll see about it. Let's go to let's go to the planned little thing for myself here, my little notepad. And for video game school, we can add Detroit Become Human. Yeah. All right. I hear you. We'll talk. We might. It might not be after Mass Effect, but we might. Me over here considering another Dragon Age playthrough. I have only played the first like 2 hours of Dragon Age Inquisition, and I Loved it. I don't know what stopped me, like, from continuing. Maybe it was another game, or, like, maybe I moved to Korea. I mean, it might have been something like that. But I have wanted to play that again for ages. And I bought it recently, like, maybe a couple months ago when it was on sale, like 90% off on Steam. And I picked it up, and I have waited to play it for ages. So Inquisition might be a game that we play as well. So Dragon Age Inquisition, I mean, that's a good game. So yeah, I mean, there are some options. It's okay, we'll wait. Alright, everyone. So, first things first, if you just saw me get flashbanged, it's because the thing that we're reading is on a Google Doc, and Google doesn't let you change the color of your text, of your page. So it's just white. You need like a special plugin for that. So you're about to be flashbanged. My apologies. And in the meantime, we should also say, hello, Alpherg. Are you finished yet?
Hello?
Are you finished yet?
I am actively fixing things.
Ah, right. All right. Well, you're running a little bit late, but we'll read this one and then we'll come back to yours.
I'm like halfway through fixing things, so we should be fine.
Okay. Okay. Cool. I just want to let you know that you're not living up to your potential, which is a little bit disappointing. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, now I'm gonna go cry for a different reason.
All right. So, I might just end the stream early because my body feels very weird today. Like I just do not feel good. But we are gonna read first, and we'll see what we can do here. So, to give you a little bit of context, this first thing we're gonna read is entitled "Worth It." It is by an anonymous member of the community who is here right now, who is listening to this, who has written this as part of like a sphere of their lives that is very involved with the My Little Pony fandom. Now, if you're not part of this like corner of the internet like me, it's essentially a lot of it's basically you know the show My Little Pony. It's that. But it's like people write fanfics about it, like characters in the show, and other people, and then sometimes that fanfic is a little bit more romantic, and sometimes we read them on stream. So that's what we're gonna do today, and I'm sure it's gonna go great. I am not gonna get flustered at all by reading. I wasn't expecting that I would be reading any kind of romantic fan fiction here, let alone that from My Little Pony. So here we go, I guess. I'm quite excited and also a little nervous. I hope I do it justice, basically. But essentially, this might be something that is new to you because it is a romance between a character from My Little Pony. And I don't know if you've seen, but the third part of that is pony. So it's a pony and then a person, right? But of course, the characters in My Little Pony are not like actual horses. They're like they're sort of anthropomorphized, right? So they behave like humans, and then they just have the qualities of the characters that they portray. And and so yeah, everyone's a consenting adult, which is really all that matters. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, if you can communicate consent in plain English and you're depicted as an adult, then that's it. Yeah, I can't judge people anymore for most things. There's still a couple of things I absolutely judge people for. This is not one of them. I really don't mind this at all. It's just certainly a new place, a new part of the internet.
I really
that
like
I'm not,
this one actually.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. Well, let's read it. I'm kind of, I was looking at, like, I don't think the royalty-free Spotify playlist I have can have, like, some really nice MLP-style music to play over this. So we'll just let my voice be the backdrop. So here we go. This is Worth It by Anonymous. Let me see here. I'm going to share on Discord as well, just so that we can... I don't have edit access.
One
author.
guy who isn't going to be paying attention because he's fixing his own story.
Oh, well, that sounds like a you problem.
It is a me problem.
All right, so here we go. I'll share my screen anyway, just in case you wanna see this. All right, so this is the MLP fanfic entitled "Worth It." Yeah, that's fine. The 10-minute walk home from the bus stop feels particularly exhausting today. Not helped at all by the fact I'm moving with a slight limp. Wait, why? Why are you moving with a limp? What happened? Do you do construction? I can't wait to finally get home, hit the shower, eat something, and then just be off my feet for the rest of the day. Until the alarm clock will yet again forcibly drag me back to the land of the living in the morning, and I must start the daily toil once more. Almost home, I pause briefly in front of the flower store, above which my, or I should say our, apartment lies. Ruby's Rose Emporium, it says in bright, cheery colors on the sign above the door, as well as on the tapes on the windows. It's a little past 6 p.m. already, so Ruby has closed shop, and the interior is peaceful and dark. I limp my way to the side entrance and drag my weary carcass up the flight of stairs, grimacing every time I have to put weight on my sore ankle. I'm so intrigued in the sore ankle. Like, what happened? Also, drag my weary carcass up the flight of stairs is a very, for me, it's a very commonly heard expression, which is, I think, purposeful here, because the author intends for this to be a slice of life type of story. So when we hear these sorts of well-used phrases and sentences, they help paint that picture of it's just another day in the ordinary life of this character. It's days like these that I envy Ruby, how he can just walk down a flight of stairs to be at his workplace while I'm forced to take a 40-minute bus ride to get to mine. Still cheaper than having a car, I suppose, especially in this economy. Oh, wow. Capitalism? In my MLP fanfiction? I grab the door handle, take a moment to try and chase my sour mood, and then finally enter. As always, the first thing I notice is the smell of the apartment. You know, it smells like hay. Sorry, the intrusive thoughts one. It always smells so fresh and wonderful thanks to all the flowers and herbs. He grows much of the stock he sells at the downstairs store himself. Heck, we turned the entire fenced-off backyard of the building into a garden, and even built an insulated greenhouse there so you can grow things year-round. This is so wholesome. That's great. The fact he can grow the prettiest flowers in town with little more than some fertilizer, his home-brewn organic pesticide, which he claims is a family recipe, and TLC, means he can keep his prices very competitive and still pocket a tidy enough sum, all whilst doing something he truly, genuinely loves. Man, Ruby is living the life. I take a deep breath in the foyer, letting the scent of fresh flowers and whatever delicious thing he's cooking in the kitchen flow through me, tossing my jacket onto the hook before finally calling, "I'm home," whilst trying not to sound as weary as I feel. Ruby Rose sticks his head out from the kitchen, the earth pony stallion gracing me with a gentle smile. "Welcome home, Lee. I don't know what MLP characters sound like, so it's just going to be my voice." He trots over to me just as I finish getting my work boots off, rearing up on his hind hooves to give me a hug before I can stop him. "Ruby, I'm all dirty and grimy and sweaty," I feebly protest, but he pays me no heed. "Don't care," the light brown pony replies and squeezes me even tighter. I give a resigned sigh and pick a quick kiss on the top of his head, getting a face full of dark rose-red mane in the process. That satisfies him, and he finally eases up the crushing grip he has on my ribs, dropping back down on all fours before gesturing towards the kitchen. I found a fun-sounding recipe for a pony-safe gumbo and decided to give it a spin. It's almost ready, so go wash your hands and then we can sit down for dinner. A pony-safe gumbo. Okay. I feel absolutely filthy and disgusting, but I'm famished, so I simply nod in acquiescence and start making my way towards the toilet to wash my grubby mitts. Ruby must have noticed my limp because he immediately calls after me, "Did you hurt your leg again at work?" "No," I reply with a shake of my head. "I just spent all day on my feet and most of it working the pedal on the spot welding machine. I'm just sore, that's all." "Oh, okay." And that's that. though there's still clear concern in his voice, and I can tell from the lack of hooves clacking on the floor that he lingers for a while afterwards. That silly, adorable worrywart. And then there's a tilde on the end, which is I don't know if anyone knows what that is. It's often used in Korean actually, where it meant to like elongate the sound. So if you see this, it's like worrywart, like that. It extends whatever vowel sound you're doing at the end. Or it's meant to just kind of go, like it's kind of an ellipsis, but it's an ellipsis of the word that precedes whatever's going on. Okay, so, yeah, so far so good. I'm finding this to be very, I think it hits all the right notes on a slice of life piece of writing. That's really what I'm getting from it. There's nothing that it's written very well. It seems to understand the style very accurately, and it is well depicted here. You can feel that there's a very natural progression from scene to scene, and yeah. I find it interesting that even from the beginning, I wasn't really sure who, like, considering moving with a slight limp, if you know that this is from My Little Pony, moving with a slight limp, etc., the daily toil, and then, like, limp my way to the side, drag my weary carcass, like, we're not actually sure that this is a, like, we're not really sure that we're reading from the perspective of the human in this case, which is very interesting. I don't know if that's purposeful, but only once you see that the person you're coming home to is the pony character, then you kind of, then we sort of start to realize that this is the human. So I wonder if that was purposeful. Not that it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, and I'm saying it's interesting. It's a cool angle to go from. All right, so here we go. I've never eaten gumbo before, so I don't really have a point of comparison, but as always, his cooking is downright exquisite. There are many, many reasons why I love this pony, and his cooking is definitely in the top 3. Now, this story, I should point out, is not age restricted. It's like a gentle PG-13 because it's technically a romance. But I have invasive thoughts, so I'll just keep that there. With the meal finished, I push back my chair and stretch, feeling already a lot better. I see Ruby's ears splay briefly backwards as he listens to the popping of my joints and my back, but he keeps on smiling. Jesus, this person is going through the most. Holy shit. So, how was it? Seeing how you took seconds, I'd say it was a hit, he asks, leaning his chin onto his hooves on the table. Definitely a smash hit. If you ever decide to make another round of that, I most certainly won't be complaining. Ruby smiles warmly at me, nodding then towards the pot sitting at the middle of the table. There should be still enough for you to take as lunch at work tomorrow. Thanks. You want some help with the dishes? Nah. I know you're dying to go take a shower, so go right ahead and I'll clear up the table. This was me yesterday. I made potato salad, and now Hewan is having it for lunch today. So, yay. Very cool. Again, all of these are very, very good tropes for slice of life. Really, really cool. Yeah. I'm really enjoying this writing so far. This is cool. I nod my appreciation at him and head off to the bathroom. I can hardly wait to feel the hot water washing away all the aches and pains. Our bathroom is nothing to really write home about. Just a fairly spacious tiled room with a shower head, a floor drain, a sink, and a mirror. It's days like this that I wish we had a bathtub. God, I'd kill for the ability to have a nice, long, hot soak in a tub right about now. We have a bathroom with no bathtub, but actually, like, the Korean style of bathroom is called a wet room. It's specifically like the shower just kind of spans the whole room, and there's no divider between shower and anything else. In fact, most of the time the shower is plugged into the basin tap, and you just kind of shower there in front of the basin. I toss my dirty clothes onto the little bench we have for just that purpose by the doorside, crank on the shower, and wait for a bit for the water to warm up before stepping under the spray. My God, it's like a personal piece of heaven underneath that warm jet of water. I like the way these are being described. It's very like I don't know. It feels very normal. And normal is always such a weird thing to say, but it does. It feels like it's I think one of its greatest strengths, this writing, is that it feels very normal, which I think is good. I think it's supposed to feel that way. It's nice. I lean my forehead against the cool tiles and allow myself to relax, letting the water take away all the pains and worries of the day. My moment of peace is short-lived, though, as I hear the door creaking open and then shut once more, a blast of cooler air briefly washing over me and causing a shiver to run down my spine. Wiping the water away from my eyes. Who could it be? I turn to see Ruby standing there with a soft smile on his face. Bow, 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 bow. Let me help you out, hun, he says, pushing the small plastic stool we have in the bathroom behind me. Go on, take a seat. I turn off the water and sit down as instructed, once more glad to take the weight off my aching ankle. Ruby, meanwhile, busies himself by grabbing a loofah sponge, one with a very convenient band for his hoof, and applying some soap onto it. In my head canon, it's such an interesting scene. Oh, man. I also have to say, like, you could imagine this as an actual pony. You could also imagine this as, like, a person in a permanent pony costume. Like, it really, like, the way that it's, yeah, this is so interesting. This is literally my first foray into any of this. So, yeah, really cool. He knows exactly what to do after I've had an exhausting day at work, putting some proper force into the scrubbing as he thoroughly and meticulously washes me, focusing especially on my shoulders and neck. It's almost like a combined wash and a massage all wrapped into one, and I love every second of it. I make my enjoyment known, too, for I'm unable to keep myself from groaning in delight as he massages my aching muscles with the sudsy loofah. A sudsy loofah is a really cool way of putting a loofah. I think that's probably one of the best ways to describe a loofah. Alas, all good things must come to an end too, and all too soon for my liking, he calls out. There we go. That ought to do it. I have half a mind to ask him to keep going, but I refrain, instead simply nodding and standing back up to turn on the shower once more. With all the soap washed away, I notice he's busy scrubbing himself down with the loofah. Well, now that just won't do. No, we gotta do some grooming of our own. I turn off the shower, and before he can react, snag the sponge away from him. He has enough time to shoot me a curious glance before I get to work on scrubbing him down in turn, his question dying on his lips and coming out as a contented hum instead. I drop down on one knee to better wash him without having to keep my back all hunched, and he oh yeah, this is a pony, so it's like you have to kind of bend over. Okay. And he obediently turns and moves according to the little pushes and nudges I give him until he's thoroughly soaped up. Finally, I grab the shower head off the holder and rinse him clean, once again using little taps and nudges to make him move and turn. It's a familiar kind of dance for the both of us, one we've worked on perfecting over the years we've spent together. I let the water keep on running as I return the shower head to the holder and then kneel down just in time for Ruby to whip his wet mane out of his face. I look deep into those wonderfully sapphire blue eyes of his, reaching up to cup one of his cheeks gently with one hand. He coos in content at that, tilting his head into my palm and nuzzling it gently before closing the distance between us and pressing his lips ever so gently against mine. The warm water is starting to run out, so I don't want to stay too much longer. Still, I let the tender little kiss linger for just a little bit longer before pulling back, the two of us smiling warmly at each other as we separate. I turn off the shower for the final time, and Ruby shakes himself off before he goes on to grab our towels from the hooks beside the door and just above the little clothes bench. See, again, it just seems like, this writing's biggest strength to me is it's like, how do I put this? When you say I've made a fan fiction from a particular, like, fandom, like from a particular universe, usually that universe is the focus. It's usually the main takeaway. But in this story, it's perfectly transferable to something that could be a part of this universe and something that doesn't have to be a part of this universe with like two people or part of another universe. This kind of story is applicable to so many different kinds of environments and universes. And I think that's its greatest strength, that it doesn't rely on the source material in as much as the source material is just the backdrop for this particular story. And that's what I like about this. I think it's really, really cool. So far, I'm very much enjoying this. After drying off, we snuggle up on the couch to watch some TV. Me wrapped in a bathrobe and him laying next to me on top of a towel, his head on my lap while I idly pet his neck and mane. I want a bathrobe. I used to have one, and I'm so sad I don't have one anymore because they're so comfortable. Tomorrow, I must go back to the grind. Another day spent at a job that I get no satisfaction from and which I don't find particularly engaging or fulfilling. The only upside is that it pays well enough to cover my half of the bills and I still have a bit left over to put towards savings. If it wasn't for the fact my earmuffs are fancy enough that I can listen to the local radio stations with them whilst I work, I'd probably go completely bonkers. Ruby notices my pensive mood as he cranks himself up into a sitting position and caresses my cheek gently. Penny for your thoughts? I shake my head lightly. Just exhausted from work, that's all. He gives me a sympathetic smile and reaches up with a hoof to turn my head to face him. With one deft motion, he leans in, and our lips meet once more. Only this time he puts some more passion into it, and I reciprocate by wrapping my arms around him and pulling him close. Soon enough, he pushes me onto my back on the couch, the stallion laying practically on top of me as we continue to kiss, my hands roaming over his withers and my fingers brushing through the locks of his silken mane. Only once we're both out of breath do we pull apart, the two of us gulping in lungfuls of fresh air while still embracing one another, big dopey smiles plastered all over our faces. I love your smile just almost as much as I love you, Lee, he says softly, laying them back down on my chest and snuggling his head under my chin, a sign of great affection among equestrian ponies, I've learned. I love you too, you big softy, I reply with a smile, gently scritching him behind one ear, which, sure enough, causes one of his hind legs to twitch cutely. I may not like my job, but moments like this, coming home and spending time with my dearly beloved special sum pony, make it all worth it. I would like to credit the sum pony part of this as like that made me do a double take because I just read it automatically. But wow, is there more? Oh, okay. Wow, that was cool.
Or nor.
I'm gonna say my. Oh yeah, Neo, if you're still in here, you're gonna hate this, but everyone mocks me for my South African accent, and I can't remember, but I think you might have done this as well. When we say a slight or nor, yeah, they hate that. They love it so much that
To be fair, I
every
don't say
single
it to
day
mock you anymore.
it's now become part of the daily routine to just say or nor every now and then. Just letting you know to brace yourself for that.
You can ask the others. I'm saying it in the Minecraft server. It's just part of my lexicon at this point.
Oh my god. I can only I can only claim credit. Some pony is such an MLP thing. Well done. Okay, cool. See, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, so that was that. I really enjoyed that. Like I said, my favorite part of this is how you could apply this to any universe, any fandom, and it would still be a very cute slice of life story. It just adds as like a nice backdrop. And it was very interesting to read it with that backdrop because I've never been exposed to that kind of thing before. So yeah, to whoever wrote that, very, very good. Very nice job. I will talk about where I do have yeah, it was enjoyable. I will talk about where I do have experience, which is the actual writing itself. I think that you have to look at writing like this as a whole. There aren't particular moments for me that stand out, but that's a good thing because with the tone that this story tries to set, it is one long continuous process. And with that, that's why, to me, this just works as a whole, which is good. Rather than trying to like pick out different moments, I think that if you've succeeded with a slice of life kind of story, there's no point that the reader will be taken out of it. That it's just kind of, they're just kind of taken along for a very smooth, like no real ups and downs kind of vibe. It's just sort of a it's just kind of a long. Let me compare it to like maybe like an action scene or something. An action scene has a lot of chaos, a lot of ups and downs. It's like a roller coaster in the theme park. A slice of life story is like the lazy log. You know, like those water log rides that everyone goes on that are really slow and they just kind of go around the length of the park. That's one of these stories. That's how I could compare it. So I think, yeah, I think if you've done that and you've managed to do that without like distracting with something else, like something comes out of nowhere, then it's a really good slice of life story, and I appreciate that. The writing here is really good. I think it takes the general vibe of this genre and just nails it. Really, really nice. Glad to hear you enjoyed my little story. Hey, very, very nice. Thank you for writing it. And I think, yeah, this is cool. Now we need the 18 plus version so that I can read smut for everyone. Very cool. Very, very cool. I'm trying to look up and see if there was maybe a moment that stood out, but I don't think there was. But in a good way, like I meant. Like it wasn't like I said, the assignment has been understood if there are no moments that like, whoa, that kind of jumped out, you know? I like this. I like this very much. A question for you, MJ. What gender did you see Lee as? I don't really know. Can I tell you, while I was reading this, so when I see the name Lee, usually the Lees that I know in my life are all men. So when I see the name Lee, I think of a guy. So I was thinking that this was a guy initially. But then, actually, in the middle of reading this, I didn't say anything, but in the middle of reading this, inside my head, I was like, maybe Lee could be someone else, like a different gender. And the thought crossed my mind because there aren't actually ever any mentions of Lee's gender in the story at all, which I was about to ask you what your secret intention behind this was, and I'm now thinking that it was that, which is very cool. Yeah, I was in the beginning I was fairly convinced that it was a guy. But yeah. I was autofilling with women, but it never truly made a decision. I totally just went NB with it. I think at the end that was me as well, Taters. I like, because there was no like indication of who it was. You're free to like put your own like assumption in there. I thought, yeah, like I said, I thought at the beginning that it was a guy, but then later on I just kind of let go of that and just kind of let Lee be a person, just Lee. Yeah. What gender do you see Lee as? Is that what you were trying to get towards? Like a story that is written for everyone? A story that like anyone could see themselves in because it's first person narrator and therefore and there are no like other descriptions that are assumptions of gender, so it could be like completely open. Is that what you were talking about? This was a bit of an experimental thing I tried to do. Picked a gender neutral name and just let the reader choose for themselves. Oh, that's really cool. That's really, really cool. I gotta know, what are their cutie marks? Huh? Is this an MLP thing? What is a cutie mark?
Yes.
Oh, God.
It's
Alfred, tell me what a
have you
cutie
seen
mark is.
My Little Pony before?
I've never watched it. No, I know what it is. I've never seen an episode.
So they have a mark on their hind quarter.
Okay.
That
like all
determines.
Of them?
Yes. Well, no. They get them at a certain age or point in time in their life. I forget exactly.
Like a star on their neck? Oh, okay, okay. What is it like? Does it give them magic
But
powers or something? Or is it just something that is supposed to be cute?
It basically like denotes what their special kind of thing is.
Okay. Okay. So what is yeah, what is
I'm sure
Ruby
one of
Rose...
the people in the chat who actually actively enjoy the show would be able to describe it better.
I have I have another question. What is the appeal of My Little Pony like now to someone like me? Like I've never seen an episode of it, but there's such a giant I honestly think I this is just based on like the sort of exposure I've had to the internet. It feels like there's a higher percentage adult like portion of the fandom than there is kids, like who actually watch it, to whom it's marketed. And I wonder, like, what is the appeal of MLP to those who are fans of it? Like, I'm genuinely interested. Ruby's cutie mark is 3 roses wrapped in a bundle with white paper. That's cute. Well, I mean, you know, he runs a thingy shop, so yeah. I've only seen it once. Okay, cool. MLP Friendship is Magic is a great story, in my honest opinion. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Is it for the narrative? Is it for like the... Is it to teach you that having friends is cool and friendship is indeed magic? Like, what is the... Yeah, I'm genuinely interested. This was a very cool story. I liked this a lot. I really appreciated the writing of it. Yeah. So far, like, it's... Yeah, I think it's been, yeah, it was. Oh, jeez, I'm trying to say something that isn't repeating myself because I've said a lot of things about it already. But yeah, basically just great writing. Yeah, I think that you, above all, you understood the assignment of the genre that you were writing, which is really, really nice. Yeah, it's like D&D light. Okay, all right, cool. D&D but for horses. Ponies, excuse me. Distinction is probably important. A party of friends taking on what the world throws at them. Okay, very cool.
So,
and I assume it's a very like it doesn't have does it have any heavy themes or does it keep it fairly light and fluffy? Because I don't, in my head, in my inexperienced head, I don't see it as being anything except just like just like these sunshine and rainbows adventures where it's really just about speaking nicely to people and having little coffee shops, and like it's basically just the story that we just read, but like in a full show. Glad to hear you folks seem to like my little piece of fiction. Yeah, I told you they would. Yeah. I told you we got lots of people who are fans of that sort of thing in here. It tackles some important things, but in a safe way, which I think is a lot of the appeal for lots of people. Interesting. Okay. All right. So without like, so it can tackle things that are important for people to digest in media, but without doing it in like in too real of a way, so that you can still detach and absorb the information. Interesting. Okay. This is very interesting for me. I'm fascinated. But yeah, so that was story number 1. I do have more stuff written if people are genuinely interested. I mean, yeah, dude, I would skim over it for sure. If you give more posts, I mean, you can give them to me if you want to stay anonymous. Then you can I can like put them through in the writing Discord. But if you want to do it yourself, feel free. Rereading the backstory to a character I'm yoinking from the old Alpheria RP server, and my god, did this person write a brutal fucking paragraph. Wait. Really? What was it about? What was brutal?
Well, first of all, it's brutal in just what it is, but also in the way, just the way they go about describing it.
Oh, okay.
It's
Is it a violent
It's
scene?
about... Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's about the character and his younger sister being attacked by wolves.
Oh, wow.
And their word choice is just immaculate.
That's... Oh god. Like, as an adult, I struggle watching things sometimes because they can be triggering, but things like MLP are nice and gentle ways to touch on them. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, wow. This song actually has lyrics to it. Cool. Yeah, okay. Do you... Alfred, do you have you finished something? Are you ready? Or shall we move on?
I mean, I've got a page and a half now.
Okay,
I went
we
down
can
half
read
a page.
We can read a page and a half. Sure, let's do it.
I can totally. It's slowly getting better and better. That's the good part.
Yay! All right, well, send it to me. Let's give it a read.
I gotta remember how to share things.
You can post it on here. Read this, unless it's like the same. Is it? I don't know what to call this. Is that the Google Doc?
No.
Oh, okay. It's something else. Okay. All right. We'll read more for that. I got into MLP as late as 2020. Ah, pandemic times. Okay. The lighthearted tone of the story was just what I needed to keep my mental health from imploding during the pandemic lockdown. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. And like the main characters, be quiet for several seconds. I refuse to even read the rest of this. It's just so dumb. I'm sorry. I can't. Is that an action? Wait, I thought you were. Oh, now if that's how they actually call them, then now I feel bad. But if it was you making a joke, then I'll roast you for it. So it depends.
It was definitely Taters making a joke.
Oh, it was a joke? Okay, cool. Then I will roast them for it. The main characters are flawed, but they are accepted, and their friends help them grow and stuff. Okay, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. You know what it feels like? It feels like an older Bluey. My Little Pony and Bluey feel like they fit into the same area, and I'm fairly sure...
Kinda?
I feel like, although Bluey is more just for parental education as well, like it's very specifically a family thing, but you know, it's cartoon animals about whom I'm fairly sure there would be a thriving fanfic community about, for sure. No, they call themselves the Main Six. Oh, jeez.
This is a child show, MJ,
That's
okay?
So... the
I know I hate to say
Six.
that, because that's what Harry Potter people say. But this is actually applicable.
Oh, the Main Six.
I dare you to come up with something better.
I don't know. What would they call themselves? Those with stable mental health. Stable. Get it?
I would have to disagree on that one.
Because
Oh,
ponies
man.
live in a stable. I used to watch Kid vs. Cat. Wait, I didn't watch
Versus
any of
Cat
that,
was
but
amazing.
I've heard of that before. Yeah. Kid vs. Cat. Very cool. The cartoon is full of horse puns. Okay, I'm sure it is. Yeah. I'm also sure just like, you know, the kids shows that have like adult humor just sort of weaved into them. I'm sure that's the kind of show that has it. Alrighty. So,
Do I make MJ read my page and a half in Comic Sans?
WTFAMGCT. What the fuck are my
That
gadgets?
no,
Uh,
I messed up and clicked
coming
M instead
to.
of I.
what? Where the frick are my golden crinkle tips? No, I don't have anything. This is the name of the story, by the way. It's called WTFAIGCT. That's it.
Right, there you go.
Okay, is it part of the same is it part of the same universe that we read last time?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Also, the show has LGBT mainly L representation in it, so, you know, big bonus. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, we love that. All right. We're gonna move on from My Little Pony to whatever universe this is. We have already determined the last time we read any of Alpherg's stuff, it was a detective who took one last job and then there was a flashback moment. I can't remember the full details because it was a long time ago, but there was a helicopter that went down and then like, oh, he's also like, he's got a beast inside him, like a werewolf type character as well, isn't he? And then there's some magic as well. It's like high tech, but also magic, like a modern magic era type of vibe. So that's pretty cool. And I think those are the main points that I extracted from it. And I think this is the same universe. So this might have happened right afterwards as well. Yeah. I remember these buildings. Okay, great. So here we go. Do you regret saying crinkle tips? Never. Never. I never regret it. All right, so here we go. There's more. So this is story number 2. This is Alpherg. Not me about to be actively typing this on stream. If you type it faster than I can read it, then we'll just never stop. So just get to it. Here we go.
I'm having trouble with the dialogue at the end right now. It's terrible.
Okay, first of all, are you trying to say breathe or breath at the top?
Breathe.
Okay, then it's got an E at the end. Breathe with an E at the end is the
Okay,
verb. Breath is the noun. Let me...
I'm American.
There you go. Breathe. Okay, sick. Okay, here we go. Breathe. The word rings through Holt's head as he stares at himself in the bathroom mirror. He swiftly raises a hand to slick back his feather-like hair, holding it in place. His green eyes flicker with a fuchsia color. A sternness covers his panic. Breathe. He doesn't register the beautiful voice of Emilia calling for him. He drops his hand back to the sink. Calmer. Breathe. Emilia calls a bit louder this time. It came across as frustrated, but Holt could hear the worry in her voice. Holt? You okay? He felt as though he were a kid caught doing something wrong. Huh? Yeah, I'll be right out. He checks his pocket watch. 10-minute late start. Nothing unusual for him. Holt finally leaves the bathroom and quickly struts across the office to his desk. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Need to rehydrate. As Emilia holds the door to the main room of the Asher Freya Guild building. He takes a sip of hot cocoa as he grabs a folder and moves to the door. As they pass through the door and out onto the stage, the roar of sound made by the officers of the Asher Freya Guild comes to a dead silence, almost as though a cap was put on a shaken bottle of pop. Oh, cool. Nice simile there. Holt takes his cue to start today's briefing. All right. George, I've got a new case for you. Greg, congrats on the promotion. It doesn't mean you get an extra donut, though. And whoever James Brown is, if you're here, my office ASAP, please. He pauses and moves to take a step back, allowing the tension to swell a bit. All right, everyone, have a safe day and do good work. A young man that's quite literally built like a grizzly bear stood up from a bench at the front of the main room. Hang on, I thought we were done with anthropomorphized animals. Are we...
No, did I not mention that last time?
No, we know the main character's like a werewolf type of thing. But yeah. Is this
he's a lizard, but okay.
I was gonna say, is this MLG fan fiction? But MLG sounds like we're playing COD when I say My Little Grizzly instead of My Little Pony. His casual outfit of jeans and long sleeve shirt with jacket catching no one's eyes. As James stood and started his walk toward the office, Holt reached over the railing to pass the case folder to George. He then turns and walks away as noise slowly trickles back into the room. Emilia quietly following him the whole time. The shutting of the office door was like removing the cap from the bottle. The noise came back with a vengeance. All right, if we're... I know this is obviously a first draft, but because we're looking for feedback, make sure your tenses stay the same. Because there's in the middle of the paragraph, there's some present tense, and then it goes back to past tense. It's a little bit... It can be a little bit weird for the reader. I know you've just started writing this now. I know.
No, it's not that. Google Docs does this weird thing where it is switching it for me.
What?
I
That
will
should
have something in present tense, and it's like, no, you meant to have that in past tense.
that should absolutely not happen. Holy shit. Okay. All right. Fine. Not me about to be aptly typed. MJ streaming me my own story on Discord. Oh, Lamau, yeah, you're in the thing. Sorry. Hang on. I should stop that then. Also, full name? Yeah. Sorry. You're not anonymous on this in this document.
What?
Yeah, when you click on places that I'm on, it shows you, unfortunately. It's okay. It's over now. It's not like we have millions of people watching, so. The shutting of the office door. Okay. Holt was already leaning back in his chair, feet on the desk, and a knife being tossed into the air. He looked up to see the Ursine across the threshold. Oh, so he is a werebear. Oh, sick. Okay, cool. Almost tall enough to have to duck through, definitely wide enough yet to turn slightly. Holt spoke in a joking manner, hoping to relieve a little the anxiety James was obviously feeling. You must be my 10:30. Hello? Stop yawning, please. 15 minutes early by my count. Have a seat, James. He finished by pointing his knife at the chair across the desk from him as he took his feet down. Yes, sir. James gave a quick glance between the two guild leaders seated opposite sides of the room, facing each other behind their desks before taking the seat at Holt's desk. He was the one who called him, after all. What exactly was I called here for, sir? I thought my first day was next week. Holt's speech starts slow but quickly speeds up. No need to call me, sir. I don't really do formalities. Would you like some hot cocoa? My own recipe. Holt didn't really wait for an answer before sliding a drawer open and pulling out a thermos, pouring a cup of cocoa and setting it in front of James. We just have some extra questions, if that's okay with you. Why cocoa? That's such an interesting drink of choice. Very cool. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's fine with me. James didn't like where this was heading. Good. So I'd like to know, James. Why Asher Freya? And I don't want the answer you gave on the application. Given what happened to your family, Fuenteno Guild would make more sense, no? There it was, the topic James feared most. But he realized Holt ignored the part he was scared about. Holt didn't seem to want to kick him out. He was just merely curious. Well, James caught himself again. He didn't want to talk about this at all, but he figured he'd better unless he wanted to know what refusing his guild leader meant. Well, Fuenteno generally gets there too late to really do anything but clean up. Asher Freya...
Yeah, that's right answer.
I wonder what I can MJ Tayo to Xia say. Get. Great sentence. He's straight a human with bear-like features, mainly size and probably a little extra and thicker hair. Oh, okay, cool. Right, so let's talk about this one. The last one was a complete story, so I changed my analysis based on a number of factors. Firstly, we have context is important, so that's why my feedback here might be different from my feedback for the MLP story. For the My Little Pony story, it was a complete excerpt. It wasn't like a first draft or anything. This is a first draft, so my feedback is going to be more based on critiquing. But I'll first start with the vibe. You've kept the same vibe that was there for the first one, and the vibe. Can I tell you what vibe I'm getting? Have you played the Dishonored games before? Like 1 or 2?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know why, but that's the vibe I'm getting. It's like the magic in a slightly modern setting. Like it's cool. I like it. It's the same in my head. It's the same art style as Dishonored at the very least. Like that sort of slightly cartoonish,
I'll take
but
that
still
as a
3D
compliment.
thing. No, it is. I think it's really effective.
No,
So it immerses me in this world that seems gritty, but also seems like there's some charm to it. So I like that. That's the vibe that's put across. And it was the same vibe that was put across last time as well. So you've kept that consistency, which is really, really important. So good job on that. Secondly, I like the little sneaky world building that is not like in your face. It's really more like characters who know about the world wouldn't be explaining things to new people unless you have a character who is new that can be the audience in the form of a character who finds out more about the world. But even from the beginning of a story, it can feel a little bit forced in. So it is really nice that you are just kind of subtly putting these things in. Remember that the reader should never, you should keep the reader in a balanced state of never feeling overwhelmed with all this new information, but also never feeling fully comfortable with it until you want them to be. So feed them new terms that challenge their brains and make them a little uncomfortable with learning new information, little bit by little bit, like crumbs, piecemeal, and then, but without giving them too much that they're overwhelmed by it. So that's the second piece. The third thing is, I think that this story would be served well by some more character descriptions. I think it's the same thing with Zareth. When we read Zareth's writing, I had the same critique, that it would be nice for me to know what the characters look like, at least a broad outline. I know that the Ursine looks like a grizzly bear, like that's fine, but I still don't really know what the main character looks like. And if there's anyone else around him that you need to describe, that you need to like build the immersion, I think it would be interesting just to put like maybe 2 or 3 qualities of their appearance up in the writing, so that I can have just an idea of what you're like leading me towards as to what kind of character this is. Because if you leave it too open, then of course, if this is your intention, leaving a description of a character completely up to the reader is very cool, because then they could put themselves into the shoes of the character as well. For me, Halt is... Halt seems middle-aged, maybe with like a grizzled, like 5 o'clock shadow kind of thing. Salt and pepper hair, like that's the sort of vibe I get for Halt. I don't know if I'm on the right track here, but if you think of something that's very... See, there you go. So I think, and I'm just one reader. Someone else could have a completely different vibe of him. So having just a couple of character traits in there that can be sprinkled in and amongst the scene that's already going on would help us to figure out what kind of character Halt is, or what he looks like. Well, actually, the green eyes is actually pretty good. This is a good way to describe him here, but that's pretty much it. Oh, and feather-like hair. There we go. Feather-like hair. What does feather-like hair mean? Is that like he's a bird?
Feathers.
Like actual feathers? Okay.
No.
So then
So,
I think I might be confused by the fact that you said someone literally built like a bear, which could be like, which could be a, like, they could be an actual bear, or they could be not literally built like a bear and actually just a figurative like big dude. But then also feather-like hair does not mean his hair is actual feathers. Those are like, that feather-like hair means wiry or maybe tousled, like a little bit wild and unkept, like that kind of vibe. But if they're actually feathers, then that should be described as well.
so in the world of Alpheria, I say world as if it's not just one continent.
No, you should.
People at some point from present day to like real world present day to the point in time where the story takes place,
Yeah.
people started taking on animal traits.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
So
okay.
you could have people ranging from just pretty much like a normal person to full on furry.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So you could have people who adopt
And-
various animal traits, and then people who like go the whole way. Okay.
Yep. And for Halt, he sits closer to the human line, where he has hair that
Ah.
reminds you of feathers. It's not
Okay.
feathers,
Okay.
but
okay.
it's feather-like.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. That makes sense to me. If I was getting this from, Beast Stars vibes. Ooh. What is Beast Stars? Let's find that out. Beast Stars. Oh, it's a manga. Oh, okay. Wait, hang on. Well, you're speaking to the right person. Alpherg loves manga. You should, do you know Beastars? Previous Attack on Titan Volume 17. Vibranium Comics. Ah, interesting. It's got like, at this high school, instead of jocks and nerds, the students are divided into predators and prey. Ooh, very interesting. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
the main thing I know about this series is the wolf on the cover there.
Yeah.
His like main objective is to have spicy time with a rabbit.
Cool. When Zootopia got real weird. So
That's pretty much all I know from the series.
so if this excerpt came in the middle of the story when we already knew that the world was like this, then the feather-like hair would make a lot more sense. So if this is coming in the middle of the story, totally fine. No issues whatsoever. But if it's near the beginning and you haven't explained to the reader, at least on a surface level, how the continent of Alpheria works, then it can confuse a little bit. If your descriptions are not like thorough enough, you can create some confusion.
Character descriptions are always one thing I have a hard time figuring out how to slot into a story.
Yeah, perfectly normal. No worries. It's just something that I've noticed. MJ Zootopia has been weird all over the internet for years. I know. Yeah, so I think my favorite thing here has been let's see. My best takeaway from this. Yeah. I like the potential, like, script, like the TV show style that this has. Like the episode of, it's like a good episode of TV. That's what this feels like to me. It feels, no!
Unironically,
Sorry, go on. You go first.
that's kind of unironically what I was going for, because
Okay.
I imagine things in a TV-like way.
Yeah.
So this, as I'm like trying to get this onto paper, I'm not hearing descriptions in my head. I am seeing it, which
Okay.
makes it so much harder for me to put it on paper. 'Cause I have a hard time with words.
So you need to, as someone who also likes to think as if I'm panning a camera onto something when I write, you have to make sure that the camera is your words. If you are a camera looking at something, that can really help you to see what details to describe at what point. So wherever the camera is panning to right now, you can describe what the camera sees, but you've got to describe what the camera sees. You are the camera in that sense. So remember that as you're panning the camera around, like I said, the main benefit of thinking that way is that it can create some really cinematic moments within your piece of writing. But you've also got to be the camera and tell us what you're seeing. So yeah, it's really cool. I like that effect has come across to me, at least. Like I can see that. But the main, just remember that the camera's got to, without you, the readers have no idea what to think. So you have to kind of at least stimulate the thought processes a little bit with how characters look. My favorite thing would be the perceived cinematography. I was going to say that because it feels more like a TV show. Everything follows a very nice rhythmic pacing, like procedure. The pacing feels quite nice as well. I like the progression of an underlying narrative that comes out. There seems to be a lot of intrigue in here. I'm definitely interested to read more, for sure. And that's a good sign. So yeah, you're doing great, dude. This is really, really nice. I like this. I think the way that the dialogue is written is pretty good. I think we spoke about dialogue earlier, and we said that different characters have to speak differently for you to be able to distinguish them in your head. And there appears to be more of that here as well, which is really nice. So great job on that. And Yeah, it looks like everyone else also got a TV show kind of vibe. Yeah, need more. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. You should post this stuff on the Discord. Yeah, I think serving Coco is a really interesting decision, and I was very intrigued by that. Not in terms of a bad one, but like just in terms of it was funny, which is good. I think you should keep that kind of stuff in the writing.
So that's there to help, because my main thing with Halt is trying to get him. I'm trying to think of a character that you would know that's like that.
I mean, you could just describe him on his own merits.
Sort of like well, I have a hard time with describing things in general. It's
If
why
you're
I
not
can't really
comparing
do
them to other
character
things?
descriptions. Yes,
Okay. You are aware that you're trying to
but
write,
he's. It's a process.
right?
one that I am trusting, and it is currently working out.
Good.
So it's
good,
going fine.
Good. Keep going, dude. You're doing great.
But he's supposed to be like Sokka from Last Airbender, a very comedic but still
Okay.
like
Now, having not seen
depth,
the last Airbender, but
character.
I've seen clips. I know the vibe of the character you're talking about. Yeah.
so he's only in his late 20s,
Okay.
and
So still very young.
It's constant. Yes, it's constant jokes and lightheartedness from him, but he can still reach into those emotional depths.
Okay. I like it.
And I was just trying to get that more jokefulness across with the Coco part.
Very cool. Very, very cool. I like this. I think you have the bones of something really, really good here. I think
course I do,
expanding. What's that?
So of course I do. It was one of my friends that made all this. So far, the only things that are actually mine in this story are Holt and Amelia.
Oh, wait, did you just replace the names with yours and just copy paste? Are we not reading your writing right now? What do you mean?
No, this is mine. The only things that I've actually created myself in this story, outside of the words on the page, are the characters of Holt and Amelia.
You're putting it to paper, so do it, dude. Of course. I mean, I write for Star Wars, so yeah, still my writing. The Coco also gave me self-assured vibes. I don't know if that's what you're going for. He's a cocky son of a bitch. That makes sense. Yeah, that's really cool. Nice. Also, yeah, not waiting for an answer before pouring. Like, he definitely wants to feel like in control. Even if he's not all the time in control, he definitely wants to feel in control. And he tries to put across that vibe as well, which I think came across quite well. The, yeah. Expand on this skeleton a little bit, add some character descriptions, give some environment descriptions, make sure that you've got the camera, keep the camera panning to the places that you're taking it to, because that you've got like nailed, and just keep working on that, but make sure to describe more of what the camera sees so that the reader isn't lost before we move to a new scene. But so far, I really am enjoying this. Yeah?
Because this is something I think about often in storytelling. But when you had, I forget exactly what it was, but you'd said something about a certain thing coming across, and I was like, that really does fit, but I had no intention of having that actually come across, was not thinking about that at all.
What came across?
I forget what you had said that had triggered it, but for me, that's something that I think about quite often in media analysis. Because even if the author wasn't thinking that deep, it is still that deep.
Yeah, it can be. I think that the phrase "it's not that deep" is so rarely applicable when it comes to consuming media, because even if the author did not intend for it to be deep, our interpretation of that is just as valid as the writer's interpretation of it. The writer's original interpretation, I think, is set as the gold standard, right? It's how the writer wants to portray this, but the writer is not in any form of control over how the reader interprets what the writer has written. And there's something really beautiful about that.
Death of the author.
Absolutely. there are so many interpretations of writing that are just completely opposite to what the author originally intended. And that is the beauty of things, but that is why we do media literacy and media analysis, because we try to get to the heart of where the author actually was, and then we juxtapose that with where we are and how we've interpreted that. The goal of reading something is not necessarily to get at what the writer is intending, but it is a goal. It might not be the primary goal, but to try and understand what story is trying to be told to you is certainly one of the great challenges of reading someone else's writing. And sometimes we come to very, very different conclusions. There's nothing inherently wrong with that, but it's I think it's good to at least try to strive for what was the writer intending with this, and am I putting my own meaning into this? And that helps us understand more about the writer. It helps us understand more about ourselves. If we have, I think it part of reading stories and part of telling stories is understanding more about our fellow humans and understanding more about ourselves. So how close or how far away we are from the writer's original interpretation of something that they've written for us can tell us quite a lot about ourselves. So keeping that one goal of the writer in mind and comparing it to how we've come about it and where we target certain parts of the writing and what conclusions we draw from it, that comparison is very important to keep alive when you're reading something. Not just the pouring, but the I made this and I don't care if you have an opinion on it because I know I'm great. Yeah. The ideal way. Yeah, I would say... Oh, hold on. I am coughing because I need to get something out. And it's not coming out. So I'm just coughing. It's very irritating. I think the way to think about the writer's intention behind the thing is the pure form of the writing. That for me would be the writing in its most pure form would be informed by the writer's intentions and what the writer wants to describe. And then our interpretation is kind of like the real way. So the pure form versus the real form. The pure form is what is intended, and the real form is what comes across, because those two are very rarely identical. And part of having good media literacy is realizing how different things can be like that and what that says about us. Whether we need to do more reading, whether we need to improve our media literacy, or because sometimes we could take completely the wrong message away from something because we have our own biases. That's why it's so important to keep that writer's intention there. And that can be very dangerous, especially when it comes to the realm of satire. Like, for example, Helldivers 2. We talk about this all the time. Helldivers 2 is a really great piece of media that a very concerning number of people are treating as a very serious thing that is not satire. And it's the most satiriest satire to ever satire about the military-industrial complex and about, fascist military dictatorships and things. It is so Starship Troopers, it's unbelievable. And we have a concerning number of people who are so biased
you say that, people
out of
didn't
that.
Mistake
No, people
Troopers.
do the same thing for Starship Troopers. I know. But we have people who are so biased away from that. They've been weaponized so far in the other way that they see something like this and they think, well, actually, this is good and cool, actually, in real life. I'm not talking about people who roleplay, because I roleplay, fighting and slaying bots and bugs and killing socialism, etc., all the time, because it's Helldivers 2. It's a video game, so I prefer to engage with that from a roleplay perspective because it's fun. But when it really comes down to it, the intention of the game developers is to see this as satire, because that's what it is. And to take the message away from that actually they want us to engage in this kind of thing in real life, and this is a good thing to strive for, is the kind of misinterpretation that we really shouldn't strive for. So, yeah, I think helping to do that here, just a couple of people at a time on these streams, is helping to deprogram certain biases you might have and helping to reframe your own media literacy here. The worst part is that I had the perfect way to continue this dialogue in my head at work at one point, but I can't for the life of me remember it because I wasn't able to get even an outline of it down. I feel that. I just hate hearing people use death of the author to make their own canon. Oh, yeah, as in the author's gone, so this is clearly what they interpreted, and this is my interpretation of them, so therefore this is the one they wanted? Is that how it works, or?
No.
Oh,
no, like people,
death of the
even with
author is
living
like
authors.
my interpretation is the right one because it's mine.
No.
It doesn't matter what the author
No, people
interpreted.
are literally using death of the author to say that certain parts of a story are not canon to that story.
Oh, well, that's kind of weird. I think that people should maybe grow up a little bit. Alrighty. And that's our reading corner. Very cool, dudes. Thanks for joining me for that. I have to say I'm feeling a little bit sick still. But I am willing to do something else for a brief moment if someone else is. We had a tie
I
between...
unfortunately got a dip for the night.
Oh, you're boring. Right, then I think maybe...
Early tomorrow.
Honestly, we might just keep it a small... We might just keep it a short stream just because my chest is feeling tight and stuff, so I think I might just end it there. But it was a very good reading corner. We might come back to it when Ash and Zareth have something else as well. When we come back, we'll be playing some Kenshi, and that should be fun. Yeah, I too got to run. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's end it there. We don't have to stand on ceremony. It's fine. So we can make it a short stream. But it's been really, really cool for you guys to be around. It's been a really great reading corner. I've thoroughly enjoyed that. We read 2 very interesting stories. Very new experience for me, for sure. But I guess now we're all My Little Pony fans, so nice. Thank you to all who submitted writing, to Raven... it wasn't Raven. Fable. Fable Corner? Fablecaster, yeah. To Fablecaster and to Alpherg, thank you so much for submitting your writings. It was really, really nice to pick them apart and talk about writing together. I hope that I have made some kind of contribution to help you improve yourself or to think about media literacy and writing in general, because that is the goal of the Reading Corner. If you have anything that you want to submit to the Reading Corner, then please do let me know. You can join the Discord and you can you can post it there. For now, we're gonna get on out of here. In the next stream, if you catch us in roughly 10 hours from now, we will be playing Kenshi, the Star Wars overhaul version of Kenshi. I have just spent a lot of time planning my macro hotkeys for the stream deck so that I should have an easier time of selecting squads and troops and things, and we're going to have a great time. I've given it some more thought. We're going to have a full series of this game because I love it so much. So, stay tuned for that in around 10 hours from now, and yeah, goodbye, Alpherg. I don't know if you've... Oh, he's gone. All right, cool. Then for everyone here, make sure you join the Discord if you haven't done so already. If you are part of the Discord, then consider looking up the fund, because it's a pretty good place, and I think people could get a lot of joy from it. We've got $50 in the fund right now, half of which you can use for anything that might bring you joy, whether that's a video game or a pizza or a book or anything like that you just don't have the money for right now. You can spend fund money to go and do it. It is funded by our glorious patrons. I don't see any of the money that Patreon brings me because I do this completely for free because I'm a communist and, and I believe in the sharing of knowledge and wealth. And so if you are here and you want to use some of that money, you can absolutely do that. We have an application system where that can be done. I do have another story I could submit, a little bit longer than worth it, clocking in a little under 9,000 words. Do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. I can't wait. With that, everyone, that'll be me. Thank you for tuning into the Everything GM broadcast. I hope that you stay hydrated, that you are kinder to yourself than you're currently being, and I will see you all in the next one where we do it all over again. Take care.